So now before we begin the meditative portion, I'm going to do a quick primer. And I just want you to relax into your natural awareness to the extent that it's almost as if you're ignoring my voice in the background. Just letting it play in the distance and hearing the words, but not moving out from your inner center, inner being. Just remaining as presence energy. We're accustomed to believing in spirituality that in order to truly be free, we have to have a silent mind. And this, you could say that this is somewhat true from a relative perspective. But I'm not so interested in relative perspectives. I'm interested in the absolute perspective. And so freedom is really just seeing yourself from the highest reality, or adopting the highest perspective of who you are. And so regardless of if your mind is very silent right now, or whether your thoughts are racing through your mind rapidly, you must come to this absolute acknowledgement that you are already free. You are already free because you are formless, eternal consciousness. And how can that which is formless be bound? The only thing that can ever bind you is the idea that you're bound. And even that is an expression of your inherent freedom. At the deepest core of what you are, your truest essence, you and God are one. And God cannot be bound by anything because there is nobody outside of God to bind him, to bind it. You are literally boundless. So if you feel stuck, or if you feel bound, or if you don't feel free already, then you simply need a correction to your thinking. It's just a misperception. It's a conditioned belief. But when it's investigated, it doesn't hold up. Freedom is not dependent upon achieving a state. Freedom is just another word for life itself. Existence is freedom. And so if you can come to that seeing, if you can confirm that that is true, that I know I exist, and I acknowledge that the universe is infinite, and infinity cannot be bound, therefore I cannot be bound. If you can come to that absolute recognition, then all the beliefs you hold that there is something holding you back or keeping you from being your truest self, they quickly begin to vanish because something much more interesting and relevant has caught your attention. You'd much rather start exploring and expressing your freedom than to waste time with thoughts that you're stuck. If a prisoner is sitting in a jail cell with the keys in his pockets, is he a prisoner? From the relative sense, you could say yes, but he's only a prisoner to his own ignorance. In the absolute sense, He isn't a prisoner because a prisoner is someone who doesn't have the ability to set themselves free at any moment. And you always have that ability to place your attention where you wish to place it. So some thoughts can be there. Some feelings can be there. It makes no difference to what you actually are. The ocean does not say, "Oh, I'm so sorry you came to look at me today. I have so many waves. Please come back tomorrow when I'm more still and calm. I'll be much more ocean-like without all these waves." Waves make no difference to the ocean. Clouds make no difference to the sky. Some dark clouds can pass through, some white clouds can pass through, or it can be empty. Space is always unaffected. And you are always free like space. You are a vast, infinite expanse of awareness that is looking through the eyes of a human, watching the thoughts, watching the emotions, watching the experiences coming and going, appearing and disappearing. But what is that which does not appear and disappear? Isn't it you? Aren't you always there? Before the thought which gave you trouble, you were there. Once the thought left, you were still there. As far back as you can remember, you've always had the visceral sense that I am, I know, I exist. And this is the godly principle in you that does not come and go. So when you let your sense of identity simply rest on that place, the timeless place, the immovable place, then you yourself feel timeless, immovable, free, unbound, unhindered. And that's when you can begin to really know yourself.